Heyo, it's Neko. What's up, guys? I'm here replacing Edward Elric today. Poor man. He's not doing well, and neither am I. We both got kicked out of our GACs for apparently being too good, but that's okay. It's no big deal. But he's pretty upset about it. So him and Veers are doing some big boy training. He's got some big things coming for Veers, probably around this weekend, hopefully. But I'll let you know more about that on the DL. He is pretty miffed, but despite that, I would like to formally announce for myself, I guess, that my friend Carter has hopefully uploaded by now a GAC of his own, 3v3. I believe I cameo in it, though. I'm not entirely sure. Depends how he edited it, but if I am, apologies. Didn't help him at all, actually. All in all, though, I decided, what am I going to do for a video today? Like, I can't make a GAC. So instead, I am going to actually talk about some GAC 3v3 stuff that Edward uses, that I use, and that even some of my guildmates like to use. But before I get into that, I would like to show off some hilarious memes that a guildmate by the name of Avner has shared. Absolutely roasted me and Edward, so he got me pretty good. So I'm giving him some credit here. This stuff's pretty funny, so let him know if it's funny, I guess. Like it if it's funny, I don't know. Hopefully you'll enjoy those memes. I gave you a little bit of time to look at them. So again, appreciate Avner. Thank you for the funny memes. You're hilarious dude. So you'll know more about the guildmates later. There will be a video about the guild coming soon, so stay tuned. So with all of that said, we're gonna get right into it. So I'm actually going to basically talk for Edward about his teams, because I kind of know a thing or two about his teams. He lets me in on some of the Imperial data. So first off, he has a Zetaed Palpatine lead and a Zetaed Merciless Massacre, of course, Vader, with his TIE Fighter. Now, this 3v3 team he likes to normally use on offense because he likes having, the Vader Merciless Massacre on offense. A lot of times he uses it to pick off Geos and stuff like that. But why this team is really good for him is, well, obviously Vader's Merciless Massacre is insane. It's incredible. You saw he actually showed what not to do in one and what to do, and it was kind of an accident, actually, but always start out if you have a Palpatine lead, use the Force Crush. Now, there's certain instances where they have tenacity, they have foresight, it's not you're not going to get anything out of it, so maybe you kind of have to start with Merciless. It just depends on the situation, but normally, ideal situation, start with Force Crush, Merciless Massacre, and hopefully you wipe someone out instantly, because if it's a 3v2, you're automatically at a huge advantage. Palpatine lead, Zeta, is going to help you a lot. It's going to give you a lot of extra protection, and it's going to give you those turn meter boosts that you need to get on a pop-up Palpatine train. Also, why he uses to like TIE Fighter. Actually uses him because he likes using Thrawn, I believe, in another team, and the buff immunity is actually pretty good. Also, he has a chance to also get an ability block along with Vader, but from what I've seen, his Vader gets a lot of ability blocks on the basic, so that's pretty impressive. So right there, really counter team if you're going to use that on offense. It's pretty good. I don't recommend it much on defense, though. Why? Vader, his AI is just not good enough to know how to do the exact, do I Force Crush now, or do I use, he'll use random abilities that aren't, strategical. So let that be known, not on defense. Now, this next team is a beast of a team on defense. I've seen, I think, seven holds. It is his CLS, Han, Chewbacca, 3v3 defense. And he'll put this on the front wall every time, and it wins a lot of battles. Why this works is because Chewbacca. Now, Luke Skywalker's Zeta is just, it binds all things. It's just a little bit more potency. It's so Edward can always solo the Rancor and be kind of a jerk and steal the rewards. So, thanks, Edward. But besides all that, how Chewbacca works is he gives a unique buff to two characters. One is always going to be Han, always Han. The second one is your next weakest character. Well, in 3v3, if you're doing the math and Chewbacca can't get guard, both CLS and Han get guard. Now, what does guard do? Guard, mainly to me, will just say no dazes can be applied and you can't stun them. Also, it means that anytime that character that has guard uses an ability, Chewbacca will come and assist. So as you know, if you've seen CLS, he's got his little woof, and that counts as an attack. That means Chewbacca is going to assist on that. And then he attacks again, so that's another assist. That's like 3 attacks all at once. Not only that, but Han's going to shoot first, so then Chewbacca's going to go, and you're just going to take so many turns, and you're on defense. And the guard means that those inflicting debuffs like stun and daze, so there's no more counterattack, they're out the window, and you can't really stop that. So that's why I think that defense is really good, is because of Chewbacca. Now, personally, I feel like I don't have the pay grade to really talk about this team. I don't have them myself, and of course, they're Edward's favorite. They're everything to him. So this is his Imperial Trooper, his favorite offense, basically, I guess. I think he has like 3 of them. But Veer's lead, Stark, Death Trooper. Now, obviously, Veers and Stark together, that's kind of the whole point of the Imperial Troopers. I mean, with Veers, you're getting the offense, and you kill someone, you're getting the speed, you're getting the turn meter, you're getting the big AoE calling everyone to assist, you're getting the speed up from a basic. And you're also getting that every time the team gets a buff, you're gaining turn meter. So of course, when you have Veers, now you have Stark. Now his Stark is very fast. It is his third favorite character, because he loves having it fast and going right away. Now, why is that? So, of course, I said when you gain buffs, you gain turn meter. So, if Stark is really fast and he's going before everyone else, what his special ability will actually do is it will give the entire team crit damage, crit chance up. So, with that, you get 2 buffs. That's like a bunch of turn meter you're getting right away. So, you're going to go first. Your whole team's going to go first, no matter the speed of your rest of your team. The whole point for that is to just kill off the weakest enemy as quick as you can, and then Death Trooper goes to work and gets a death mark. When you get that death mark, whoever else you're going against is probably going to die unless they dispel it very fast. Another reason this is really great is because Death Trooper has the ability to attack twice. First time, he can inflict daze. If an opponent has daze, then they can gain stun. If he gets both off, free stun. Also, of course, the AoE is crazy. You can dispel all buffs and put healing immunity on the team. That's absolutely incredible. I've seen a lot of fun this team does, so I guess promotional for Edward. If you want a fun offensive team in 3v3 Grand Arena, this might be your team. Now, of course, Death Trooper is going to be a little more of a grind, but, you know, it was worth it for Edward, so. Quickie Imperial offensive team here. Now, I believe in his first video, he explained this way better than I'm going to be able to, but basically, Thrawn lead with Range Trooper and Magma Trooper is a team that is going to take a lot of turns. Now, that's just because of the Thrawn lead, which gives protection, offense, and then when you resist or gain a debuff, you're going to get turn meter. Now, I believe it's something like 70% goes to Range Trooper with his unique if he's buffed, and then Magma Trooper gives 30%, so Range Trooper is like a plus 100 tenacity. He's going to resist a lot. And every time Magma Trooper gains or resists a debuff, he's going to get a lot of turn meter. And basically they just go turn after turn after turn. And he recommends this team against an offensive team that has a lot of debuffs. That would be Empire, KOTOR. That could be even Bounty Hunters with maybe a Boba lead, or a Cad Bane lead gives potency too. So teams that have a lot of potency and are going to be inflicting a lot of debuffs, this team can pretty easily shut them down, especially with Thrawn's special Maneuver. Maneuver also helps too. 50% turn meter, get rid of all your debuffs. So if something really bad's on you and you want to get rid of it, boom, it's gone. So pretty fun team. It's kind of an investment to get Range Trooper. Magma Trooper's super easy, but Range Trooper, he's a little bit of an investment. But if you can, and this is how you want to split up Empire, go right for it, honestly. Grand Moff Tarkin lead with Snow Trooper and Stormtrooper. Now, the only thing I can say about this team that I'm thinking is what's going on here is he's just using off his, leftover Empire characters that he has. And how I see this working is, Grand Moff is going to be giving speed to the team, so you're getting a little faster. Of course, Snow Trooper, he's going to be using his AoE a lot if he's getting critical hits. He's going to be taking a couple extra turns because he's gaining turn meter when he actually goes ahead and kills someone. Now, Stormtrooper, what I think is going down here is that this team's probably a little squishy, and Stormtrooper's a tank. Actually, not a bad tank when he works under Empire. So, how he works under Empire is well, he's taunting, and you have to have the Omega for this to be really good. But every time he takes a hit, he's actually going to be removing 10% turn meter from the team, from the opposing team. So really, you can have a taunt up on him get hit, they lose 10% for each character each time. You're gaining speed, so you're going faster with Tarkin. Tarkin can remove turn meter with his AoE, so really you could have it where they don't do a lot of damage back, they're not taking as many turns, you're kind of getting a lot more attacks out there. That's kind of what I see there. So it's just a good way to, in 3v3 to get another split up if you need it on offense. Next off, it appears this picture that I was sent is outdated. From now on, I hear Edward is going to be using Old Ben lead with Leia and Farm Boy Luke. Now, he's basically going to go for that on defense, I believe. Old Ben used to be an old meta called the dodge meta. Basically, you just, every time he evades something, you get turn meter, and his leadership gives evasion. And then with Leia, you got the stealth, so then she's going to be giving buffs. She's going to be doing pretty good damage. And Farm Boy Luke does pretty good damage too, so all in all, that's a pretty niche team. It's pretty good if you have CLS and you need to split them up. And this team comes straight from the Imperial Scanners by Edward Elric. It is a Wigs with Stormtrooper Han. Basically how this team works is with the Wedge lead, you're going to be getting 25% extra offense. And now you're going to be getting health back of your max health every time you land a critical hit or you kill someone, and you get more if you kill someone. And with this team, Edward decided he needed another defensive team in the back wall, and this worked really well for him. It actually got a defensive win. How I see it is that Stormtrooper Han is going to taunt. Every time he gets hit, he's just like regular Stormtrooper. He's going to be removing some turn meter from the opposite team. Also, he has like a 25% chance to remove the opposite team's turn meter, which is, that's pretty nice. So now you're removing a lot of turn meter. A lot of offense is being given to this team. And if you model these characters for some crit chance, they're going to be gaining health back. It's like they're just have crazy health steal, basically. And of course, with Biggs, if he takes a critical hit, 100% turn meter. Boom, he's going again. And his special is really nice because you can call all three of them to assist because Wedge is already innately called to assist, and then you just call another one to assist. So, boom, you got all three going. Pretty good defensive team. It's kind of like CLS, but obviously not as incredible, but still really effective, and you should definitely try it out if you have the characters for it. So that Akbar team that's going in there with Kanan and Sabine, don't recommend it. It's probably just a cleanup team for Edward in case there's one character left or something like that, but nothing more to say about that. However, that Bastila lead with Ezra Yoda, pretty great team that Edward likes to use on defense, actually. So Bastila lead obviously is going to give you a ton of extra protection. Now, he doesn't have the Zeta, so no extra tenacity, but with Ezra's going to be calling Yoda or Bastila to assist. Bastila is going to call Yoda to assist and give all the buffs. Yoda's going to give everyone all the buffs. Ezra has his Flourish, and Flourish is, can remove buffs. It gives him 50% turn meter if there's no buffs, and this team can take a lot of turns because they're kind of fast. They're assisting each other a lot of tankiness with the protection. It's a pretty scary team. If you want to put them on defense, go right ahead. If you want to get full banners on offense, go right ahead. They're a two-way team. Go ahead and try it out if you want. Lastly, we have Edward's favorite team to use first, except I don't think he used them first in every video, but that's not a big deal. Came up with this team because he had to get Chewbacca, so he's like, what am I going to do with my bounty hunters? So in 3v3, he elected for a Boba lead with Zam and Cad. Now, I believe he sort of explained this, but I'll kind of explain it a little bit too. Boba lead basically says that you're going to get a ton of crit damage. You're going to get max health based off your potency. So now Zam and Cad, you kind of want to be potent anyway. And also, you're going to be getting a lot more speed as you inflict debuffs, and these two characters inflict a lot of debuffs. So Zam, her detonators, that's a debuff. She's got evasion down, debuff. Cad, he's got the accuracy down, and he's got a stun. Those are debuffs. Also, what's really great is that Zam is actually going to gain a lot of turn meter. Now, I believe you said something about how Zam is better in 5v5. And yeah, that's true, because her basic, when she hits the detonator, she's going to be gaining 20% turn meter per scoundrel ally. But still on 3v3, this is a pretty effective team, so give her a try on offense if you want. Okay, so we just got through all of Edward's stuff, and as you can see, the sun is beautifully setting down in this Imperial base that we're in, that I may or may not be under hostage, but I mean, that's just, I mean, when I'm living with Edward, it's basically a hostage situation, but let's move on now to actually my account. Alright guys, so now after getting through all that Imperial stuff, now we can finally talk about my account. Let's start off with my bread and butter defensive team, I guess. It's gonna be my Zeta masked Kylo, with the other Kylo, and Panda Trooper, Executioner. I like calling him Panda Trooper though. And why on defense? Well, Kylo Mast is a crazy tank. This dude, he just gets hit and decides, I'm just gonna heal because I get hit. That's insane. If no one has crazy offensive output against you, they're not gonna get through him. They're not gonna get through him at all. The Zeta, however, that I added on the leadership, means that now, every time they gain a buff, every first order that gains a buff, they're going to be gaining back health and protection. And why is that crazy? First order's biggest thing is just giving each other advantage all the time. And if they're all gaining advantage, that's a buff. They're now gaining health and protection like all the time. With this team, what's going on is Masked Kylo is going to be giving a lot of turn meter, hopefully. Panda Trooper is going to be dealing a lot of damage, and that's why I really like him, because he can stack up a lot of offense pretty quickly. And if Kylo's taking all the brunt of the damage, then Panda's going to go in and he's going to wipe you out. So, if you have First Order and you don't have Hux, but you also don't have a Legend, go for that. Awesome team in my opinion. So this is maybe where my credibility hits the fan, but bear with me on this. This is totally, in my mind, I was like, this is genius, and it works very well. This is my offensive first order cheese. Now I know, Phasma lead is a weird lead. It's probably useless, but in 3v3, when you don't have a ton of first order and you just kind of, using two teams, you're just splitting them up. Phasma lead with Sith Trooper and my TIE Pilot are actually ridiculous in 3v3. And there are situations where they go insane. If you don't know anything about Phasma lead, it's basically that First Order has a lot of chance to gain advantage, and then they also will sometimes, they'll just assist. They'll kind of do what Sith Trooper does, but with a less degree of success. So, Sith Trooper already on his own is going to assist. That's his thing. He loves to assist after every attack, and he has a high probability of doing that. In addition, he's a cleanser, so that's getting cleansed. You're getting a ton of turn meter with Phasma. You're getting advantage all the time with Phasma. But now, why TIE Pilot? Why does that throw credibility out the door? TIE Pilot's basic can sometimes has a chance to be a double. Like a 1 attack, 2 attack. Now here's the thing. If you're being called to assist, and you do that, that's 2 hits. Sith Trooper also comes in, does a hit. But sometimes Sith Trooper will assist, and then also assist Phasma. So he'll get 2 assists in. And there'll be instances where I'll actually get an assist from Sith Trooper twice, and then get 2 hits with TIE Pilot. And Phasma also used her basic first. So I just did like 5 attacks in 1 turn. That's insane. Now, of course, that's just pure RNG Jesus giving you some slack, but I've had it happen multiple times, and even if I just get 3 attacks, that's still 3 attacks in one attack. And that could happen sometimes when she's just using her AoE to put speed down on. It's honestly, if you just try it out and see it works. Now maybe it's not incredible. If you're going up against someone that has days I don't recommend it at all. Not at all, actually. I got smashed one time by, honestly, I think Phoenix, just because Zeb got really lucky and got dazes all over the place. But otherwise, try it out. Honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but try it and just think about it. Think about my thought process on this. I promise you it won't let you down. This team is basically the same thing that Edward has. It's just minus Ezra. It's just swap Ezra for Jolie. You're still going to be getting the assist. With Jolie, though, you're also going to be getting some healing going on. So that might be an even better 3v3 team if you don't actually have extra Jedi. So that's kind of what I like to use. I actually like to use this team all the time on offense. They'll get me full banners, and that's awesome. Full banners is really good, especially when you're in close situations. So what can I say about this team that you probably don't already know? I mean, it's a Padme lead with double Zetas, and you got Zeta Kenobi, so he's going to be taunting all the time. And you got Anakin, who's just going to be Anakin and do a lot of damage. What? This team on offense? They basically win every battle. Just about. It depends. There's situations. But this is a crazy good team. Of course, I have both Zetas on Padme, so that helps a lot. So that means not going to be getting a lot of debuffs when I have protection. I'm going to be crazy damage with courage. I have 40% undispellable protection. Team's going to be pretty tanky, especially with that Kenobi Zeta. So if you have Padme, this is kind of how I like to split Padme up, because Padme is kind of a hard split, but I would rather put Ahsoka maybe somewhere else. Maybe give her like with Arc Trooper, or I guess if you have gas, you can do that too, but I don't have gas, but there you go. Here's how I split up my Rebels. So I actually have fully farmed Rogue One, or I guess technically I have Jin with K2, Cassian, Chirrut, and Baze, and that's my Rogue One team. But I split them up like this. I actually go with a Akbar lead for the speed, kind of like Tarkin and Edward, and then K2SO is a tank, and he'll taunt a lot and a lot of counterattack. And Cassian, of course, will throw up debuffs. He'll get a ton of debuffs on someone. Health immunity or something like that. It helps a lot. So, and he can spread them with his second special, which takes all the debuffs on one character. So, helps a lot. That's kind of like how I split it up. Same time, let's talk about the actual Rogue One. So, Jin lead with Baze and Chirrut. Chirrut, of course, is going to be doing his thing. Lots of health up. You know, you're going to be getting probably a lot of stacks of that. Baze is going to taunt a lot with Retribution. He's got a full Dispeller. He has an actual flip, so whatever buffs they have, they'll get the opposite. Jin, she's really crazy, actually. She's got a revive on her second if she hits a critical, so of course I have a good crit chance and potency on her right now. At the same time, her second special will actually has a chance to stun and steals turn meter. So if someone's about to take a turn, you can take 2 turns basically. So that's really nice. Of course, when you get the debuffs with her lead, you're going to get exposes sometimes, and there's your damage output. So maybe they're not the greatest damage output, but if you get the exposes and stuff like that, and if Baze stays alive long enough because he's tanky enough, you're gonna be in a good situation. Now, I usually use this team just sparingly on offense, just sparingly on defense. It just depends on the situation, who I'm going up against. Okay, so this Bounty Hunter team, basically, it is an offensive holdout team. It is try to get the contract off with Boba to kill the fastest character right away, and then hopefully get Annihilate off with Mando. That's basically what this team is. So, there you go. My Grievous team is not very fleshed out. I just got Droideka, I believe, yesterday. So, I'm not in a Grand Arena, so stupid bugs. But here's the thing. Once Grievous gets up, he's a great team. Obviously, Carter has some footage of him with Grievous. Grievous is a great team. I believe if you have Metalloid Monstrosity, that Zeta probably takes him to the next level. Obviously lots of health on Grievous. Personally, I think Tenacity might be better for B2. A lot of people do Potency, but I think Tenacity is way better. You don't want to get dazed. You want always having Relentless Barrage. So, and I just have Magna Guard because he's the other droid I have, so there you go. Speaking of stupid bugs like Grand Arena, but no, I'm just kidding. This bug team right here, the only reason that Edward knows that they're the optimal lineup is because I said so. This right here is the best lineup possible. Now, I don't have the Zeta, of course, so there's no free Brood right away, but Brood Alpha lead, Spy, Sun Fact. you are going to be removing buffs. You are going to have a taunt right away early if you don't have Brood out there, okay? He has a ton of buffs. Those buffs are crazy because now we go into Spy. Spy, you want him under Stealth, so then every effect on you and effect on your enemy, you know, will give them much more damage, and boom, you can toik someone right out of the battle. If you get someone out of the battle like that, and it's a 4v2, it's going to be crazy. GBA, he's crazy. He calls in a summon. The summon is just as good as he is. It's going to taunt all the time because it counterattacks all the time. So with his basic, he gains taunts. Now he's taunting. He's an attack where he calls everyone to assist, and you just assist twice. With GBA, you can dispel all buffs. You can dispel all buffs in a mass. You can have everyone attack. You can cleanse, but debuffs also, just like Poggle does. That's why I don't think Poggle's as good. So this right here, in my opinion, is definitely the optimal lineup for Geonosians. Okay, lightning rounds. These are kind of cleanup teams I like to use. Let's start with the Newt lead with Soldier and Dooku. Speed and potency is what you're going to be getting from Newt. Extortion is really nice. They can use it sometimes to waste a turn. Gets rid of their buffs, they don't get rid of it. Max health damage. With Soldier, you can call Dooku to assist maybe and get even more of his debuffs on there, like stuns and stuff like that. Dooku, of course, the stuns. Lots of counterattacks, so even more stuns. Lots of stuns. He's going to stun a lot. With Soldier, though, lots of damage output. So this team is kind of like a quick, I need to kill someone or two or something like that. It's like a tank, a lot of damage. I just want to slow him down quite a lot. Next, though, Qui-Gon lead to give speed, Ahsoka to get rid of buffs, and a healer. Pretty self-explanatory. Empire team. My Empire team is lackluster, so ask Edward how to make Empire teams. He's amazing at it. Or just like, you know, go back a little bit in the video, and then you'll see. I have a Wigs team too. Same thing going on here. I don't have a tank. I just have one of the soldiers because I have, I think, one of the soldiers up for the territory battles. So there you go. Defensive team I like to use here in the back wall. Chief Chirpa with the Elder. Paplo. I don't have Wicket, so Paplo's a tank. I kind of like that. Dispels buffs. That's pretty nice. Obviously, you're getting, you know, the revives and the healing with Elder. And Chirpa, he's going to call him to assist. He's going to get that retribution and the health. And it's a pretty nice defensive team. It's not obviously incredible. It's not doing anything amazing. You know, Ewoks, they're not as good in 3v3. But there you go. There's a little team that I like to do. Now, Tebow lead, he's the other lead. So I'm just going to use that. With Logray to also get rid of buffs, put Dazes out there. Scout's just there to, you know, maybe do some damage every now and then, maybe tickle him, I don't know. But those are my 3v3 teams, so booyah. Okay, guys, now we have the bonus round. The bonus round is going to consist of my guildies who decided that if I was not going to be able to make some content in GAC, they would help me out with some of the stuff they do. So first, we're going to talk about one of my dudes, Pimp, and some of his defensive teams that he set up. So, Bounty Hunters, he's got an awesome relic. Big boy Bosk lead. Bosk lead, of course, crazy for tankiness. Crazy for the Bounty Hunters if you want survivability. With Boba and Jango. Now that's a scary team. Boba and Jango obviously have 2 lives. If you get the contract off, damage immunity on Jango. Ooh, that has got to be a scary team to see on defense. Other cool things that I see these got here. Actually has the same Jin, turret, and base thing as I do got going on. He also has the CLS thing going on there. He has the same Ewok setup I have with big old Chirpa, Paplu, and Elder, so that feels pretty good. Cool thing he's got here right now is some smuggler action going on. So he's got Akira lead with the Zeta. L3, definitely for the tankiness and just being a tank overall. Counterattacks and stuff like that. And then it looks like he's also got young Lando Calrissian, probably for some of the potency up that he gives. Also probably for, you know, making sure that prepared is always getting spread around. So thanks Pimp for that. Thanks for the defensive setup. Now we're actually back to Avner with a great way to split up your clones if you have all the clones and Shock T. He actually elected for on defense Shock T, Clone Sergeant, Arc Trooper. Now I kind of see what he's got going here. Now From what I understand, Claude Sargent is really good with Shock T. Kind of like a Snow Trooper kind of thing going on here. So, with Arc Trooper also, you've got lots of assists going on, and lots of buffs coming up from good old Shock T herself, Shakti T. And then, of course, the best way to split up clones, in my opinion, the best possible, one of the best teams probably in 3v3, probably a top 10 team overall. Rex lead, Echo, fives. If you have that just speaks for itself. It's scary. If you don't kill off fives first and you kill off Rex or something, boom, they all get extra stats. They get whatever fives had for stats, boom, they add that on. If you don't give rid of fives fast enough, Rex is going to get an aerial on you, and then boom, you basically lost a character. And now what do you do? Now they have Terminator trains. There's tons of tenacity on this team. They're going to be removing buffs. They're going to be assisting each other. There's so much that could go wrong against this team, and you really do need an optimal offensive lineup to beat it. There's a few ways to do it that I've seen, but for me, I'm throwing Padme at it, and I'm hoping for the best RNG and get fives and Rex down quick, basically. But otherwise, it's pretty scary. I have seen Edward do it, actually. Basically what he did, quick synopsis, he had to have Thrawn, Death Trooper with a Vader lead, I believe, and basically quickly give Death Trooper a team to get rid of the tenacity, and then have Vader take his turn, and then go to work with his Merciless and all that, and then hopefully fracture he fractured Rex, but that's what Edward does. Mine's a little way easier, probably, way less stressful, so there you go. Great defensive team. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hoped I was able to help you out, maybe give you some ideas for some 3v3 offensive and defensive teams. Now, of course, if you need to know anything about these teams, on maybe like more specifically on what I do with a certain team on offense or defense or anything like that, just shoot down in the comments below, and I'll go and try to help you out. Now, I'm sorry. Sorry again, of course, about the GAC. I don't know what happened on both accounts too. That's got to be really low odds that it happens on both. So obviously I was pretty miffed about it, but I'm over it now. I'm glad I got guildmates that care about me. So thanks again to my guildmates for giving me awesome things of what they do in GAC. That really helps. They're a lot higher than me, so they have a little more, past the mid game kind of stuff. And also thank you to Carter for having a GAC upload today. I'm really glad to have him on here with me, and he's helping a lot. Hopefully Edward comes back sometime with Veers. I don't know where they are. They're heavy training because they've got a territory battle mission coming up, and they haven't beat it yet, and they want to beat it. So I'm hoping for the best for them. I'm hoping to see you guys in the next one, and peace out.